Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to continue to work on this 1972 Pontiac GTO 400 4-speed chassis. We have the chassis frame, whichever way you want to call it. It's right here, and we're going to start by taking apart all the front suspension, and then we're going to move to the back and remove the rear differential in preparation of getting this frame looking good and free of any rust. And we're going to paint it, and we're going to make it look sharp. So thanks for watching, and here we go. We're going to start by removing the front wheels. I guess we're going to continue to work. Started from the brake rotors, and just working our way from the outside in, and just trying to remove this whole suspension out of the way. So let me get you a little closer so you can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna get this front calipers off first. We're gonna get a little bit of spill here from the power steering pump. Let me get my bucket, my catch pan. Keep us from making a mess. The brake hose looks pretty bad. They're replacing all that. So let me get this bolt off here. Get this brake shoes out, brake pads out of here. They look semi-new, but I mean, when they put them on, probably 10, 20 years ago. But we're gonna be replacing all this. Still gonna save it for now. For the brake calipers, I'm gonna save everything, even the brass washers. It's best to have everything, and then I'm sure we're gonna decide to go with some new brass washers once we put everything back together. Okay, so it takes care of that for now, and then I'll continue this brake rotor. I'm thinking maybe I should leave the rotor in there and just remove the upper and lower A-arm and remove the whole assembly. It's probably gonna do that. Can I keep everything together? I don't know. We still need to inspect the bearings. I'll just take it off. I get all my tools right here. It's gonna work out real good for my tool stand. Let's knock this dust cap off. Bearings don't look too bad, but we still need to clean them up and inspect them. Some old grease. Got this little trick that I learned a long time ago. Put the nut back in, kind of slide the whole thing forward, and it's gonna remove the inner bearing with the seal without damaging it. So a little quick pull, just like that. And you see how I caught the bearing and the seal without damaging it. That's one way to get it out. Like clean all this and inspect it. For now, we're just gonna throw it all together right there. Try to keep everything together for now. Even now, we're gonna have parts scattered everywhere, and we don't need that. I'll throw the outside bearing along with the nut and the dust cap. Keep it all together with the bearing and the rotor. Keep everything together like that for future reference, so that way you don't have that many parts just laying around and getting lost. Okay, so now we can see the spindle real good. And I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna remove the outer tie rod, and then we're gonna do the upper and lower ball joints and the front shock. So let's move this way so I can get access. Oof, there goes the geyser. Power steering gearbox. Okay, gonna move it right here. Okay, next we're gonna go to the upper and lower ball joints. Well, maybe the sway bar. Being careful that and knowing that the coil spring is loaded and it's got a lot of pressure on this whole system. So we need to make sure that we don't get hurt by being careless. Get everything that I need. One more socket. Try to get everything here handy next to me, but always need something. Okay. Let's get this sway bar out of the way. Try to keep all this assembly together. So with that, we won't be searching for all these parts later. Still looks in good shape. We gotta replace just whatever is needed, guys. This is not gonna be a total, restoration or SEMA winning award-winning car. We're just gonna make it look good, and we're gonna reuse or use everything that is in good shape. And the key for this is not to spend $1 million doing it. Just use your judgment and just replace whatever needs to be replaced. If you want to, you can replace everything, and at the end, you're gonna know that, and you're gonna realize that you're gonna spend thousands of dollars, if not tens of thousands of dollars more than what you would have. Got that done. So, what else? I think I want to do that shock next, so that way when I undo the ball joints, I can just hit it here and this will pop open and remove that pressure. So let me get rid of this shock next. And we're back. I ended up grinding the nut on top because it wouldn't come off no matter what. So I took my my death wheel, my grinding wheel, and I grinded the nut off. And here's the old shock. We're not going to be using it, so this is trash. Throw that to the side there. And now we're going to continue to work. Remove. The only thing's holding now pressure with this front coil spring is the upper lower ball joints. So I'm going to work on the upper first. Another way you can do it, I'm not going to be reusing the coil springs. Another way you can do it is you can cut through the coil spring with the torch and just pretty much cut through the coils and release all the pressure. That way it won't spring up on you. Either way, it works. Just be careful. Whoa, did you see that? We gotta get that in slow motion. But that's what he does, what he did. So it's a good thing that we had the jack under it. Done this many times, guys, but you need to be careful. And now all the tension from that ball joint, from the coil spring is released. It's And I was right. You see how I lifted the frame from the mount here. So let me lower this back down. This is one of the most dangerous jobs you'll ever do. So be careful when you do this kind of work. This is the way I do it, but you need to use a lot of caution and use your judgment. You know, if you need to do more safety protocols, do it, because you know you do this at your own risk. Now the spring is just there, but I think it's got a little tension on it. I'm gonna try to pop it out with my pry bar. Get it out of the way, make sure that it's not dangerous anymore. Had some tension there, but there it went. A 50-year-old spring, as you can tell, they have put the spacers on there to make it. Hey, look at this. They did a long leg spider right there. Not very happy. See that? Check that out. Isn't that cool? Put this to the side. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Let's see what else we need to do first. It doesn't matter what you do first. You can do the lower A-arm. I'm going to leave it together with the spindle. I can undo that later. I think I'm going to work on this upper A-arm and get that out of the way. So it'll give me enough room for it to slide out. And it did. So there. Remove the shims. They go up here for the alignment. Throw them in the bucket. We got the lower A-arm and spindle, but we're going to take that out as an assembly. Let me see if I can get to those lower A-arm bolts so I can spray them some WD-40 here. Let me get that off camera and persuade that bolt to come out. I'll be right back. Welcome back again. It's another day. Yesterday, I left on trying to remove that lower A-arm bolt that was giving me a hard time. And I struggled with that thing off camera for hours. You would believe what I had to do. And there's the end result. And as you can see, that thing's pretty dark because I ended up putting the torch to it and the bolt will not come off. And this is what I ended up doing, as you can see right here. Let me give you up close. The bolt, I ended up cutting the bolt with the torch. I put WD-40. I put the torch to it, but apparently the bolt was seized up really hard inside the sleeve, the bushing sleeve, as you can see, and it wouldn't come out no matter what I did with it. I struggled for 2 hours doing it. That's why I said forget it. I did this yesterday, last night, right before it got dark, and I thought, well, let me start all over new this morning. So finally got it out, but this is the kind of stuff you're gonna run into when you're dealing with an old car. The front one came out real easy, but the back one, that's what sometimes you have to do. And there's the A-arm, and got everything off on this side. I'm going to continue to disassemble this suspension. I think the next thing I'm going to remove that gearbox and the sway bar, and then I'll do the other side over there to remove everything on the front end, and then we're going to move there to the differential that is in the back. So since you already saw this side, I'm probably going to fast or time lapse the one on the left because it's the same thing as on the front. I also ended up putting, there's a bird singing over here. I ended up putting heat to that brake line right there because it wouldn't loosen up, and I ended up putting heat a lot to those brake lights right there. There's a lot of birds out here singing to me this morning. And that's probably what you have to do in an old car like this. You need to put heat to the base of the line to get it red hot for it to loosen up. If not, you're going to strip that and you're going to break it. I intend on using all these brake lines. They look to be fine in the original, and I like to keep stuff original, so we're just going to clean them up. We're going to blow through them. They're not pitted or rusted or anything, so they look in pretty good shape. So probably going to, when you deal with all cars, you're going to have to use heat either with a torch, a acetylene torch, or one of them handheld little torches. But definitely, you're going to run into this kind of stuff with an old 50-year-old car. So let me set this camera up and continue to work on this front end. Okay, got my small impact there. Let me move this lower A-arm assembly out of the way. Get situated here, pick up some loose stuff here and there. I already had these bolts loose way back when I was messing with this gearbox, so should be easy to just take them out. There you go. 3 specialized bolts, the same length. Make sure to keep up with these because they're special for this gearbox. Or you can use anything really in a pinch, anything that'll work. Okay, so got the power steering gearbox loose, and I'm going to remove it with the whole linkage assembly. So I need to go on this side and start removing the rest of the suspension. So let me go ahead and set up the camera on the opposite side. I previously worked on and removed the rotor and the caliper, which is the same thing also on the other side, so I didn't want to bore you with that. I'm going to go ahead and knock the living daylights out of this tie rod end, but not at the tie rod end itself. I'm going to hit right here at the spindle. I already have the nut loosened up, and this is the what's holding the tie rod assembly together along with the power steering gearbox. So I'm going to take the whole thing out as an assembly and keep all that together. This is probably going to get a little loud, so I'm going to whack the heck out of it right here for it to loosen up. There you go. You saw it go down there. It doesn't hurt anything. So I've been doing this for many decades and it does not hurt anything. There we go. Oh, we still got the idler arm attached. So we need to remove that as well. Okay. See if I can get it off with my little small impact here. Okay, let me break that loose with something else. No, that's done. So we're going to move to this side, and we still have the spring and the upper and lower A-arm and sway bar. Keep everything together in case I need to reuse it. Like I said, we're going to reuse everything that is in good shape and usable shape. We're not going to go just nuts and replace everything because we're not in an unlimited budget. I think it's nuts to replace stuff that does not need to be replaced. But if it needs to be replaced, I don't have a problem replacing it. Or if you need to upgrade it to maybe polyurethane style bushings, you can, but that's how you can save some money and don't break the bank. Okay, so let's, what else? We still have the shock in place, so let me remove the lower part of that shock. It's almost out. There. This only works, guys, if you're gonna replace the shock. But if you're not, then you need to find a way of getting it off. But most of the times, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. We gotta cut that nut right out and get that off. So there. Now I can remove it. And now we need to remove the upper ball joint nut like I did on the other side. And then we can pop that, we can let that coil spring pop out of there. Me hit it. Just like swinging a bat. Right there. All it took is one hit, and you see how it popped up. It's a good thing we had the floor jack, and we're using every precaution. So let me lower this thing back down. Okay, so that's out. I think I'm gonna get this, excuse me, this upper A-arm out of the way, and then we'll remove the lower A-arm. We're gonna get rid of this brake caliper, I guess. Let's do that right now. Let's remove that because I think it's just hanging there. Yeah, there it is. This was not welded or rusted as bad as the other one was, but it's pretty bad. But I'm glad that it didn't fight me as much as the other one did. There we go. That's one. Let me get the front one now. Put this together with the nut. That bolt is covered with years and years of of mud and grime at the head of the bolts right there. Okay, so it's almost out and that A-arm's about to drop. So let me put the floor jack under it, I suppose, to keep it from just falling all the way out and probably smashing my toes or something. There's the second one. And now that thing's completely loose. Okay. So now it just needs to drop. Just lower this floor jack a bit, a little bit. I get my pry bar in between that bushings. And let it come out. Okay, it's one side. We'll lower this floor jack again. There you have it. With a coil spring. And then the lower A-arm assembly with the spindle. And now we can remove the shock because I have put a nut and a bolt through it. As you can see it there. And this was spinning on itself. But we're going to catch it right now, remove it. We're not going to use these shocks, they're shot. So I'll do that off camera there. The only thing left here on the front suspension is this sway bar. And we're going to remove it. 2 bolts per side. And that completes the front suspension of the 1972 GTO 400 4-speed. If you enjoyed this video and you got something positive out of it, please like and subscribe. Thanks for sticking until the end. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.